We know you have a lot on your holiday to-do list. And at the UPS Store, we're here to help. With our pack and ship guarantee, your gifts will arrive intact or you'll be reimbursed. Got holiday cards to print? We're also the premier printing store. We've got everything you need for every way you holiday. Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee for full details. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, prices, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today.
How would you like a 15% discount to my daily email, the stack of stuff, the show notes, discounts to the conference, all of that? All you need to do is text the word show to 33777. You'll get the annual subscription with a 15% discount to my daily email. You'll get the stack of stuff, the links to the show notes, discounts to the conference, and so much more. All you have to do is text the word show, SHOW, to 33777. Text show to 33777.
Welcome to the Eric Erickson Show podcast, Hour 3.
Welcome back across the fruited plain. It is Eric Erickson here chatting with you this great open line Friday. 877-973-7425 is the phone number if you wish to be on the program. I mentioned yesterday Clark's Christmas Kids. For those of you not familiar with him, my buddy Clark Howard does a nonprofit outreach every year to fund presents for all the kids in foster care in his and my home state of Georgia. A lot of states don't have programs like this. I wish every state did, but Georgia has one, and you guys across the country have been so generous in the past to be able to help. They're not meeting the goal, and they're afraid that if people can't step up, there may be kids without presents this year in foster care. What they do is they have a website. If you text the word donate to 33777, I'll send you the website. It's Clark's Christmas Kids. You can go online, click the donate button, either leave a donation, or you can find county by county in the state of Georgia, or by age of the child, or by sex of the child. You want to buy presents for a boy or a girl, for a 1-year-old or a 10-year-old, whatever. And you can make a donation. As I sneeze. And be able to provide gifts for all the kids in foster care. And they've been able to meet the goal every year to make sure every kid has one. But there are a lot of kids in foster care this year. And given the economy, people just don't have the means to donate as much as they have. But if you're willing, text the word donate to 33777. And Clark Howard's going to join me at the bottom of the hour to talk about this program. It's been going on now for decades, I think, like 20 some odd years, I think now. I want to go back to something I talked about in the first hour. I want to play for you again, and I did it in the first hour, but I have more I want to say because I'm still dwelling on the phone call from Lynn yesterday. It's been on the back of my mind since we talked about it yesterday. I want to play for you this audio. If you happen to catch the video portion of the show, you'll be able to see the video. But here's what you're hearing. This is from Channel 4 in London. And it is a man who is helping a little girl up to, she's probably 12 or 13. He's helping her to a piano in a public forum in a mall. The girl, they say, is neurodivergent. They mean she has very severe autism. She can't make eye contact. She hates loud noises. She cannot talk. She can't talk. And when she plays the piano, she doesn't look at the keys. She doesn't look forward. She doesn't look at music. She looks upward, and her head moves back and forth aggressively as if she's saying no. I want you to listen to this as these two people from Channel 4, these two, the host and a scientist, observe what this 12-year-old girl can do on this piano.
It's a big step coming up to the piano. Ready? Big step. Good girl. Well done. Come and sit down in the middle. Down. Sit down. I just right. Find the pedal.
We should say that often at the end of a performance,
Yes.
Lucy covers her ears.
She likes the applause, but she doesn't like the sound of the applause.
Yes.
So her fingers go in her ears for sensory reasons.
Yes, I don't have to tell people not to.
She loves applause.
Okay, fine.
100%.
Ready? In a minute, you're going to play Nocturne in B flat minor by Chopin.
Nocturne in B flat
Stop
minor by
playing.
Chopin.
See? Here we go.
Everybody is stunned. And the commentators, they go on to say, how can she do this? She has no notes. She has no music. Nothing in front of her. She can't even see the keyboard. Her head is tilted up and weaving back and forth furiously as if she's saying no. There's a verse in Scripture. It's a very famous verse. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there were none of them. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me and the light about me be night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you. Yesterday, Lynn called, and boy, she set me off down a rabbit hole, and I'm still stuck on it. I'm still stuck on it. Talking about the devaluing of culture and the devaluing of life, we could get to the point where a guy could murder a husband and father on a street in New York City, and people could justify that murder because the dead man worked as the CEO of a healthcare company. All the Democrats with their butts. Ramesh Ponnuru at National Review wrote a book provocatively titled The Party of Death. Jonah Goldberg has written about a cult of death on the left. And I said yesterday, in Genesis, I believe it's chapter 9, when Noah and his family come out of the ark and God resets the world. Now, one of the things you have to understand about this is when God creates the world, this is one of the interesting aspects that people miss. When God creates the world, he separates the waters from above and the waters from below and the dry land from the sea. And when he undoes it with the flood, what happens is everything is in reverse. The waters of the air and the sky come down in rain. Then the waters of the sea and land merge. The waters from above come down. The waters from below come up. Everything is what you see is literally, it is like God hitting rewind, and all the waters, the cleansing water, are symbolized going back to a nothingness, except for that ark. In Genesis 1, when it talks about the surface of the Lord hovered over the surface of the water. This is very hard for Western people in the 21st century to understand, but at that time in that culture, there wasn't a concept of zero. There wasn't a concept of nothing. There wasn't the idea that there could be nothing. And so the nothingness, the void, was symbolized with water. That water that you hear, the Spirit of the Lord hovered over the waters, that water wasn't water. It was a nothingness, and that's what it meant, and that's what people would have understood it to mean. But because they didn't have a concept of zero, they didn't have a concept of nothing. So they had a concept of something. Something had to be there. And in a desert, their concept of nothing was water. Because they're in a desert. Water doesn't exist. So if the desert doesn't exist, what must there be? Not nothing, but water. And so when God reverses the whole thing and goes back to the whole world is covered, what? It's a nothing. It's a void, except for an ark. And when they get out of the ark, when the waters recede and the world is restored, God says, if someone takes the life of man, if an animal takes the life of man or a man takes the life of man, you must kill that animal or that man, because they devalue life. And it's not a coincidence in Western society as we see people embracing abortion and embracing euthanasia. What we see is a lack of death penalty. It's one of the wild aspects of the planet that you see. Outside of totalitarian regimes that also devalue life for other reasons, in Western liberal democracies that devalue life, you see countries getting rid of the death penalty but embracing abortion and euthanasia. And we see this girl, young teenager, with severe autism, marvelously playing a piano. Small miracles. In Iceland, they have almost exterminated every child with Down syndrome. And in fact, in a growing number of Western countries, women who take the test to see if their child might have Down syndrome are very often told, if you don't abort the child, we will not pay for your pregnancy. Because the society doesn't want the costs. And we're losing a class of citizen who are fearfully and wonderfully made, just not in the way you and I think they should be. We look on kids with severe autism or with Down syndrome or other abnormalities, and we wonder there must not be a God because he wouldn't have made them in that way. But he formed us all in our inward parts and knitted us together in our mother's wombs, and we are all fearfully and wonderfully made, even if we're made different. We don't know why. We have no idea why. But who am I to question God? And sadly, our society has decided to play God. And so we can see a father and husband who raised himself from poverty and ascended the ranks of corporate America to be the CEO of an insurance company, gunned down by a white, privileged, rich kid who stood to inherit millions of dollars, who, by the way, did not even have United Healthcare for his insurance, and who was, by all accounts now, we know today, cured of his pain from his back with his back surgery, which was a success. But he spiraled into a rabbit hole, and I don't think it's probably a coincidence that he was a serious user and advocate for psychedelic mushrooms. And he murdered the CEO, and people want to treat him as some sort of hero because they've devalued life. Do you know where we get the word abortion from? Any idea? Yeah, you can say from Latin, from the word abort. The slang in the Roman Empire for the trash heaps was the abori. People would take their deformed children, or the ones they did not want, and they would leave them on the trash heaps to die. One of the reasons the Romans persecuted the Christians is because the Christians, the very early church, would go to the trash heaps and rescue the children who were being aborted. Because an abortion in Rome was not to kill a child before it was in the womb, but to take the child after it was out of the womb up to a young age, not just newborn, and place them on the trash heaps to die. And the Christians, by taking the children off the trash heaps and raising them as their own, were presumed to be defiling the empire and bringing impurity into the empire by rescuing the deformed. And they were persecuted and killed. Oh, to be persecuted and killed because you recognized that we were all knitted together in our mother's womb and fearfully and wonderfully made. The sad part of the culture of death is not just the death of Brian Thompson. It's that this young lady with massive defect can be in God's sight seen as perfect, and when she sits at a piano keyboard, we can hear the perfect music played. And we tend to look on people like this and find pity, which to some degree is natural. But in Western society, more and more, we tend to look on people like this and ask, why are they still here? Which is a damning indictment on the culture of the world, and we should all strive to do better. We are all of us fearfully and wonderfully made. Hello, welcome. It is Eric Erickson here across the nation. The phone number, this open line Friday, 877-973-7425. Do not forget, you can text Eric, E-R-I-C-K, to 33777. And you can connect in, be on the live stream. You can be on the show. Those of you who are on the phones, got to be patient with me. I ran long last segment. I got Clark Howard coming up. And thank you, Belinda, for being here today behind the phones with me. While I believe that my producer is killing hogs in Florida. I think that's what he's doing today. He was kind of coy with where he was going, but my guess is he's got some pent-up frustration, and his wife makes him go hunting on occasion to take care of, relaxing. And we all kind of like it because he comes back a happier person once he's satisfied his bloodlust. When we come back, Clark Howard is going to join me to talk about this that's been going on for quite a while, Clark's Christmas Kids. If you go to clarkschristmaskids.com or just text donate to 33777, I'll send you the link there. You can donate. There are kids in foster care who are going to go through Christmas without a present, but you can change that and help get them a present. And all you have to do is go to clarkschristmaskids.com or text the word donate to 33777. I'll send you the link. You make a donation, and you will ensure that all the kids in foster care get a present for Christmas. And it's very easy to do. You can pick the child you want to buy for. You can pick the age. You can pick whether you want to buy for a boy, buy for a girl. They make it very easy. Right now, I got to tell you, something else is easy, visioncomputers.com. They make it very easy for you to get a new computer because they will roll over your entire existing computer into your new computer. So it's set up just like you're familiar with, and they will work with you to make sure everything works the way you want it to work. They'll do email support. They'll do printer support. All you have to do is call them at 404-COMPUTER. Go to visioncomputers.com. Vision Computers makes it very easy, and then when you buy a computer from them, you get their 5-star customer service where you get a special number. You're able to call them anytime you have a question about your computer. Either you think something doesn't work right or you just don't know where you put a file. They can take care of you. And if you've already got a computer and you don't want a new computer, but you sure could use someone to be your tech support solution, they can do that to you too for just $179 a year. It's a great Christmas present if you got a kid in a gig economy environment. Call them at 404-COMPUTE. See how they can work with you. Visioncomputers.com or 404-COMPUTE. Tell them I sent you. You'll save even more money. Why, hello there. Welcome back. It is Eric Erickson here. The phone number, 877-973-7425. As promised, my friend Clark Howard is joining me. He's in the studio in Atlanta while I'm here in my studio in Macon. How are you, sir?
Now that I'm talking to you, I'm fantastic.
Excellent.
I'm so excited to get to visit with you again this year for something that you and I both care about so much. And I'm just really, really happy that we've got so many people who are fired up and helping. in our 34th year of Clark's Christmas Kids.
So I wanted to bring that up. I thought it was like 20 years, but that's the Carathon. You've been doing this for 34 years. That's incredible.
Yeah, half my life.
Wow. I just, it's a remarkable thing. So can you just give people the history? How did you come up with this idea? And I know Society of St. Vincent de Paul is involved with it. So how did it come about?
It wasn't my idea. Okay, this is funny. I was sitting around with a bunch of people at the station back in 1991, and we were talking about how, all these music stations do stuff for kids at Christmas. Why aren't we doing anything for kids at Christmas? And so we were batting around ideas, and back then people shopped at this thing called was it called a mall? Mall. That's what it was called.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's where everybody shopped, were malls back then. And so we went to a different mall each day, and we broadcasted from it, and we just asked people for donations for children for Christmas that we then turned over to the Salvation Army for their Angel Tree program. And it was the third year that it was rebranded Clark's Christmas Kids, and the tie-in that we developed with children in foster care that we've been taking care of ever since the Christmas of '93. And the goal is every year to take care of every single child in foster care within the state of Georgia. But our donations, Eric, come from all 50 states.
Yeah, I've been pointing that out to people nationwide now that, I've gotten this email or this question every year now, and I get it from some program directors who are like, why are you promoting this? Most states don't actually have any sort of similar program, but I have always gotten phone calls from callers around the country. What can I do to help people at Christmas? And it's such a good idea. There may not be a program in your state, but you can at least ensure that kids in foster care in one state, all of them will get presents.
Well, we get approached by other states saying, so you actually get each child their wish list? How do you do that? Because the logistics of it are crazy. It takes 1,500 volunteers, Eric.
Wow.
Because what we do is we pre-select a low-cost gift category, a mid-cost gift category, and an expensive gift category. So a child in foster care, age appropriate, is given a list, and they can pick one gift from the inexpensive, one gift from the medium, one gift from the expensive. And so the kids wish for these things, but because of everything that's happened where adults have let them down, they really don't think it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And then, bam, if it doesn't happen Christmas morning, that because of the generosity of our fellow Americans, and by the way, many years our largest contributions come from California,
That's
the 50
so great.
states. And so people give this money because they love that what the children wished for, they actually receive.
And just to give people a sense of this, I'm looking on the site. So if you go to clarkschristmaskids.com or if you text donate to 33777, I'll send you back the link. There's a Shop Now button. You click the Shop Now button. And so here's Jelani, who is a 5-year-old boy who wants a bike and a helmet. There is Aisha, who's 17, and she wants a computer tablet and wireless headphones. There's Michaela, someone clearly, because Michaela's less than one, baby books and a baby gym appropriate. The ones that crush me, honestly, Clark, every year, and the ones that I buy for are the kids who are 15, 16, 17 in foster care, because everybody wants to, let's buy gifts for the baby. And the older you get, it seems like you get forgotten more. And so I always try to buy for those kids when this comes around every year. And it's just, it breaks my heart to see the number of kids in foster care, particularly at that age.
I mean, when you look at the bookends, the kids that the sheets are age 0. These are kids who at birth were put into the foster care system. And then you think about the 18-year-olds and you wonder how long has this child not had family that could take care of them, and they've gone from foster group home to foster group home to foster family or whatever. I mean, that is a tough road. And then at 18, we put these kids out in the street. I mean, at 18, my 3 kids wouldn't be able to figure out how to pay rent, find a place to live, and put food on the table and all those things. It is a hard thing we put on them. So the 18-year-olds who are aging out of foster care, or who my wife Lane and I buy gifts for each year. And we took care of 20 kids yesterday.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm just looking. I will pick some myself, and right now I'm seeing on the website 9,525 presents still needed for kids. It really is a massive effort. I've seen the effort internally before at WSB, but you guys have a warehouse where people get together and take care of this, don't you?
Yeah, so we get generous donations every year of warehouse space. The whole design of the program is that every dollar somebody gives goes 100% to the gift that they put up the money for. There's no administrative overhead. I absorb some of it. The state absorbs some of it. And then we get generous souls or companies that donate. So the warehouse space, I've never had to pay for warehouse space from when we started, because somebody donates it to us for 2 months leading into and right after Christmas, so we can have all the gifts there, sort them, and then the 1,500 volunteers are needed to go through sorting all the gifts by child, by county, and make sure that every kid, we do a lot of QC, a lot of, double checking, triple checking to make sure that the kid's bag of gifts is exactly what they had wished for. And sometimes we'll make, we're all volunteers. Sometimes somebody will make a mistake, and that's why we do the double and triple check. And then we say, this kid was supposed to have this, that, or the other, and we pull out the one they weren't supposed to have, put it into undesignated, put the right one in, so that we deliver. This year, there's over 10,000 children in foster care in the state of Georgia, and every one of those kids, if I have anything to say about it, will have the gifts they wished for Christmas morning.
Well, and for example, folks, so I've got Clark Howard joining me. You can go to clarkschristmaskids.com or text the word donate to 33777. I'll text you back the link. Chelsea is 18 years old in Sumter County, Georgia, wanted skincare products, a wireless speaker, and a tablet device, a computer tablet. And so my wife and I just put all those things in the cart, put in the credit card number, and off we go. And Clark's volunteer army will take care of making sure that Chelsea has all this stuff for Christmas. And it just, I know part of it too, Clark, this year is people themselves are struggling with groceries the way they've been, and rent prices so high that it's harder and harder, it seems like, to find people who have the resources for themselves to be able to not just take care of their own families, but also these kids in foster care.
And you say that, and I want to say this. If your year has been rough financially and you don't have the resources, please wait till next year if things are better for you to donate. I don't want you putting yourself in any financial harm's way. On the other hand, if, let's say, you're a business owner, you've had a really great year in 24, I want you to step up and help these kids. If you're an individual who got a promotion at work or got a better job somewhere, money's better, I want you to do more for these kids this year. And if this isn't your thing, if you're like, that's great, Clark's doing this, this isn't my thing, go do what is your thing to help others. Whatever that is, take Christmas to the spirit that people talk about. It's better to give than receive. People say that, but they don't necessarily mean it. Let me tell you, if you do that, you feel better. You feel great when you do something for others.
You do. You absolutely do. And it really is a worthwhile cause. And, I've needled you in the past that this probably was wise for the alliteration. You went with Clark's Christmas Kids instead of Clark's Hanukkah Kids. But, I mean, it would work one way or the other.
We had a complaint the other day that came in from somebody who was really angry that a Jew was doing doing Christmas Kids, that it needed to be a Christian. And I thought that was kind of crazy. But, we all care about children. Mm-hmm. And So that's what this is about, and taking care of our kids. You know, these kids come in this world, they just want to be loved and cared about, and unfortunately, kids in foster care don't get that experience. You know,
they don't. I gotta say, our governor, who I know has been helpful in this. He and his wife have had a strong passion for foster care, as did Sonny Perdue when he was governor. And I've got a lot of friends of mine who, over the years, have stepped up and helped foster kids in the state, and it's remarkable to me. How, I mean, and to some degree, it almost seems like with the economy, the ebbs and flows of the number of kids in foster care, but there are a lot of kids all the way up to 18 inside foster care right now.
Yeah, and the worst of it was when we hit the height of the fentanyl, you know, the number of deaths from fentanyl, thank goodness, is declining. But at the peak of that, it was overwhelming, obviously, for the children affected. You can't imagine what it was like us trying to come up with gifts for all the kids, because the number of kids spiked by thousands in foster care. And then they didn't have parents to get their act together because the parents were sadly deceased from fentanyl. I mean, drugs are really a terrible thing, the effect they have on individuals and families. And I see it up close because of what we do with the children in foster care.
Well, and folks, to give you an example, Kyla is 4 years old, and she wants a bike and some educational learning toys. Platinum is 13 and wants headphones. Azir is 6 and wants a musical instrument and a bike. Danielle wants aromatherapy. She's 17 and would like a TV. And the other thing I also have noted here, Clark, over the years of now talking to you about this, is how it's somewhat very cyclical in toys. Like Legos are very big one year, and then maybe they're not the next year. Electronic stuff has become like the big thing every year. People want tablets and TVs, and then you've always got the kids who want the bikes, and I love buying the bikes for kids because I had so much fun. There was so much freedom, particularly if you're in foster care, the ability to get outside and get on a bike and just pedal in the wind. It just seems like that's the gift to buy a kid.
Well, when I was when the warehouse wasn't full of stuff already, I got to ride one of the donated bikes around the warehouse. I love riding a bike. But you know, one of the funny things you just mentioned, TV. There are people who are like, these kids are getting a TV? Do you know TVs are one of the cheapest electronic items that we can get a kid now? They cost like nothing. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, as someone who just had to buy a new TV, I was shocked that I could get a giant TV for way cheaper now than I did.
How big a screen did you buy?
Ago. So I have one on my. You can laugh at me for this. I've got a TV on my front porch for when the guys come over on Sunday night to watch football, and I leave it out there and I keep it covered. And I bought one a couple years ago, and it was just a like 37-inch TV. And it was kind of expensive. It was a Sony, and it got rained on, and over the years just kind of wore out. Had it for like 7 years, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to get a new TV. I got a 55-inch TV for my front porch for like, I want to say $700.
How did you spend that much money? You should have called me.
Yeah, I know. I could have.
We're looking at each other in here like $700.
Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, it's $700, but this one is specifically weatherized for being outside.
Okay.
The old one wasn't.
All
so
right.
You do have to pay a premium for that because it's completely sealed.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So what I did, we have an outdoor space, and I did the opposite extreme. I figured, let it rain. I paid $179. So if it gets fried, that's all I got in it.
There you go. Yep. No, I wanted one that would last me for a very long time without me having to carry it inside every time it rained. And
well, you know, I'm so
I
old, I don't have to worry about things lasting a long time.
All right, folks, this Clark Howard's joining me for Clark's Christmas Kids. We got to go to commercial break here. Clark, thank you for stopping by, and it's Clark's Christmas Kids. While you and I have been sitting here, the number on your website went from 9535 to 9475. So we're selling some Christmas presents, buying some Christmas presents.
I love it.
Kids.
Thank you so much, and Merry Christmas to you and
Merry
your family.
Christmas and Happy Hanukkah to you and yours.
Thank you.
All right, folks, I got to tell you about Swiss America before I get off here. They're the nation's trusted leader in precious metals and have been for 40 years, and they've been warning people about the secret war on cash, which when I originally heard secret war on cash, I was thinking, okay, whatever. Then I read the report, and what they're actually talking about is if you pay attention to your dollars, there's a lot of fraud technology that's put into a dollar that you can, if you hold it up close, like, for example, you try to photocopy, you can't photocopy a dollar bill and stuff. But it's not just that. The government also doesn't particularly care for you using cash to and make your purchases anonymous. And so they're using the same technology against a fraud to be able to monitor you and your individual purchases. And they're doing the same thing with cryptocurrency, at least they're trying. And Swiss America is kind of eye-opening how the government tries to track even your cash purchases. They want to help you. They can help you protect your hard-earned assets, and they can help you save on your retirement and finances. The report's less than 15 minutes to read. All you got to do is go to 800-289-2646. Give them a call or text them. My name, Eric, E-R-I-C-K. 800-289-2646. 800-289-2646. The all-out war on cash includes digital forms of currency like digital currencies, crypto. It's growing. It's spreading. Swiss America has been around for 40 years. They're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Reach out to them. Text my name or call my name, Eric, E-R-I-C-K. 800-289-2646. Message and data rates may apply. Hello and welcome. It is Eric Erickson here across the United States. Glad to have you with me again. If you will text the word donate to 33777, I'm going to send you back the link to Clark's Christmas Kids. And again, like Clark said, he gets donations from all over the country because a lot of states do not have the ability or capacity to do what he's able to do with the Society of St. Vincent de Paul in the state of Georgia. And there will be a lot of kids, sadly, in this country in foster care who will not have presents at Christmas because of their circumstances. But at least in Georgia, it's possible to take care of those kids. And wherever you are, if you're willing to be generous, to be able to make this happen, we would all appreciate it very much. It's such a worthwhile cause to be able to provide for these kids at Christmas. If you will go to clarkschristmaskids.com or text donate to 33777, I'd appreciate it. All right. We have finally arrived at the weekend. I hope you have a good weekend. I will be here all next week, not taking off yet for Christmas. We still got a lot of news happening out there, and I'll bring you the latest on Monday. Have a great weekend.